Hello everyone, welcome back to the course Power Plant Engineering. In this lecture, we will discuss on thermal power plant, the general layout of the plant, and the major components of thermal power station. Let's start with the introduction of thermal power plant. Thermal power plant converts heat energy into electrical energy. The nuclear power plant is also a thermal power plant where heat energy liberated due to nuclear reaction is utilized to generate electricity. The conversion of heat energy of fuel into mechanical energy is carried out by employing various thermodynamic power cycles, and mainly amongst them are Otto cycle, diesel cycle, Rankine cycle and Brayton cycle. The IC engines are based on Otto cycle and diesel cycle and are used mainly in the transportation sector. The diesel engine is also used as a smaller capacity captive power plant for electricity production. The major electricity production, almost 60% in the world, is by steam turbine driven thermal power plants, gas turbine driven thermal power plants, and combined cycle thermal power plants. The conventional coal fired steam power plant is the predominant power producer, especially in the developing countries that have indigenous coal or can import coal inexpensively. Because the Rankine cycle is the overwhelming preferred for the steam power generation, we will discuss it first. Topping and bottoming cycles, with one exception, are rare and mentioned only for completeness. The exception is the combined cycle, in which steam turbine cycle is a bottoming cycle. The power plant concept featuring a combination of gas and steam turbines have been successfully commercialized since early 1970s. These combined cycle power plants make very efficient use of fuel compared with the other power plants. Let us start with the discussion of Rankine cycle, on which the working of thermal power plant is based. The schematic shows the basic ideal Rankine cycle. The working fluid in the Rankine cycle may be water, mercury, low boiling substance, or any other. Rankine cycle is the thermodynamic cycle for the steam power generation, and thermodynamics govern the ultimate performance of the cycle, whether used in a coal fired steam plant or bottoming cycle of the combined cycle power plant. The core component of steam power plant are boiler, turbine, condenser, feed water pump and the generator. The ideal cycle consists following four processes in the Rankine cycle. First, process 1 to 2, the working fluid is pumped from low to high pressure. As the fluid is a liquid at this stage, the pump requires little input energy. Process 2 to 3, the high pressure liquid enters a boiler where it is heated at constant pressure by an external heat source to become a dry saturated vapor. Process 3 to 4, the dry saturated vapor expands through a turbine generating power. This decreases the temperature and pressure of the vapor. Process 4 to 1, the wet vapor then enters a condenser where it is condensed at a constant temperature to become a saturated liquid. The layout of thermal power station is as shown in the schematic. A steam power plant converts the chemical energy of fossil fuel, for example coal, oil or gas, into mechanical or electrical energy. This is achieved by increasing the steam in the boiler, expanding it through the turbines and coupling the turbines to the generators, which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. In a coal-based power plant, coal is transported from coal mines to the power plant by railway in wagons or in merry-go-round system. Coal is unloaded from the wagons to a moving underground conveyor belt. This coal is from the mines is of no uniform size, so it is taken to the crusher house and crushed to a size of 20 mm. From the crusher house, the coal is either stored in the dead storage. Generally, dead storage is for 40 days or 40 days coal supply, which serve as a coal supply in case of coal supply bottleneck, or to the live storage, which is a 8-hour coal supply in the raw coal bunker in the boiler house. Raw coal from the raw coal bunker is supplied to the coal mills by a raw coal feeder. The coal mills or pulverizer pulverizes the coal to 200 mesh size. The powdered coal from the coal mills is carried to the boiler in coal pipes by high pressure hot air. The pulverized coal air mixture is burned in the boiler in the combustion zone. Generally, in modern boilers, tangential firing system is used, that is, coal nozzles or gun from the tangent to a circle. The temperature in the fireball is of the order of 1300 degrees Celsius. The boiler is a water tube boiler hanging from the top. Water is converted to steam in the boiler and steam is separated from the water in the boiler drum. The saturated steam from the boiler drum is taken to the low temperature superheater, latent superheater and final superheater respectively for the superheating. The superheated steam from the final superheater is taken to the high pressure steam turbine, that is HPT. In the high pressure turbine, the steam pressure is utilized to rotate the turbine and the resultant is rotating energy. From the HPT, the outcoming steam is taken to the reheater in the boiler to increase its temperature as the steam becomes wet at the HPT outlet. After reheating this steam, it is taken to the intermediate pressure turbine, that is IPT, and then low pressure turbine, that is LPT. The outlet of LPT is sent to the condenser for condensing back to the water by cooling water system. This condenser water is collected in the hot well and it is again sent to the boiler in a closed cycle system. The rotational energy imparted to the turbine by high pressure steam is converted to electrical energy in the electrical generator or alternator. The layout of thermal power plant consists following 4 circuits. First, coal and ash circuit. Second, air and gas circuit. Third, feed water and steam flow circuit. And fourth, cooling water circuit. Let's see one by one. In coal and ash circuit, the steps like coal delivery, coal unloading, coal preparation, coal transfer, coal storage, in-plant handling and feeding it to the boiler or furnace. This is before putting it into the boiler or furnace, and after the combustion in the combustion chamber or boiler, the ash handling and ash storage. These are what the steps which are included in the coal and ash circuit. The coal arrives at the storage yard and after necessary handling, it passes onto the furnace to the fuel feeding device. Ash resulting from the combustion of the coal collects at the back of the boiler and it is removed to the ash storage yard through the ash handling equipments. Let's see the second, that is air and gas circuit, which consists economizer, superheater and dust collector. Air is taken from the atmosphere through the action of forced or induced draft fan and passes on to the furnace through the air preheater, where it has been heated by the heat of flue gases which pass to the chimney via the preheater. The flue gas, after passing around boiler tubes and superheater tubes in the furnace, passes through a dust catching device or precipitator, then through the economizer and finally through the air preheater before being exhausted to the atmosphere. The third circuit, which is a feed water and steam flow circuit. In the water and steam circuit, condensate leaving the condenser in the first heated in a closed feed water heater through extracted steam from the lowest pressure extraction point of the turbine. It then passes through a deterrator and a few more water heaters before going it into the boiler through the economizer. In the boiler drum and tubes, water circulates due to the difference between the density of water in the lower temperature and the higher temperature sections of the boiler. Wet steam from the drum is further heated up in the superheater before being supplied to the prime mover. After expanding it in high pressure turbine, steam is taken to the reheat boiler and brought it to its original dryness or superheat before being passed on to the low pressure turbine. From there, it is exhausted through the condenser into the hot well. The condensate is heated in the feed water heaters using the steam tap, that is blade steam, from the different points of the turbine. A part of the steam and water is lost while passing through the different components, and this is compensated by supplying additional feed water to the system. This feed water should be purified beforehand to avoid the scaling of the tubes of the boiler. The last circuit is cooling water circuit. The cooling water supply to the condenser helps in maintaining a low pressure in it. The water may be taken from natural source such as river or lake, or the same water may be cooled and circulate over again. In the latter case, the cooling arrangement is made through the spray pond or cooling towers. Let us see components of coal-fired thermal power station. The first and foremost thing in coal-fired thermal power station is coal preparation, that is nothing but fuel preparation system. In this coal-fired power station, the raw feed coal from the coal storage area is first crushed into small pieces and then conveyed to the coal feed hoppers at the boilers. The coal is next pulverized into very fine particle so that coal will be undergo complete combustion during the combustion process. After the preparation of the coal, it will be sent to the dryers to remove the moisture, which will decrease the efficiency of the combustion and also results in a CO emission. After the dryers or drying operation, it will be sent to the magnetic separators. Coal which is brought may contain iron particles. These iron particles may result in wear and tear. The iron particles may include bolts, nuts, metal plates, etc. So these are unwanted and so are removed with the help of magnetic separator. After preparation, drying out and magnetic separation, it will be stored in the storage yard. There are two types of storages of prepared coal. First is live storage, which is inside the boiler room storage, and second is a dead storage. Mainly it is for the long-term utilization of the thermal power station. Next, the boilers and auxiliaries. A boiler or steam generator essentially is a container into which water can be fed and steam can be taken at a desired pressure, temperature and flow. This calls for the application of heat on the container. For that, the boiler should have a facility to burn a fuel and release the heat. The functions of the boiler are to convert chemical energy of the fuel into heat energy and to transfer this heat energy to the water for evaporation as well as for the steam for superheating. The basic components of the boiler are furnace and burner and steam and superheating. There are different types of superheaters, which are low temperature superheaters, platen superheater and final superheater. Next component is economizer. It is located below the low pressure superheater in the boiler and above the preheater. It is there to improve the efficiency of the boiler by extracting heat from the flue gases to heat water and send it to the boiler drum. Let's see the advantages of economizer. First is the fuel economy. It is used to save the fuel and increases overall efficiency of the boiler plant. Second is reducing size of the boiler. As the feed water is preheated in the economizer and enter boiler tube at the elevated temperature, the heat transfer area required for the evaporation reduced considerably.
Next component is air preheater. The heat carried out with the flue gases coming out of economizer are further utilized for preheating the air before supplying it to the combustion chamber. It is necessary equipment for supply of hot air for drying the coal in the pulverized fuel system to facilitate grinding and satisfactory combustion of fuel in the furnace. Next is the reheater. Power plant furnaces may have a reheater section containing tubes heated by hot flue gases outside the tubes. Exhaust steam from the high pressure turbine is rerouted to go to the inside the reheater tubes to pick up more energy to drive intermediate or lower pressure turbines. Next is the steam turbines. Steam turbines have been used predominantly as a prime mover in all thermal power stations. The steam turbines are mainly divided into two groups. First is impulse turbine and second is impulse reaction turbine. The turbine generator consists of series of steam turbines interconnected to each other and a generator and a generate on a common base or shaft. There is a high pressure turbine at one end followed by an intermediate pressure turbine, two low pressure turbines and the generator. The steam at high temperature, that is at 536 to 540 degrees Celsius, and a pressure at 140 to 170 kg per centimeter square is expanded in the turbine. Next component is condenser. The condenser condenses the steam from the exhaust of the turbine into liquid to allow it to be pumped. If the condenser can be made cooler, the pressure of the exhaust steam is reduced and efficiency of the cycle increases. Functions of condenser are to provide lowest economy heat rejection temperature for steam, to convert exhaust steam to water for reserve, thus saving on feed water requirement, and to introduce makeup water. We normally use surface condenser, although there is one direct contact condenser as well. In direct contact type, exhaust steam is mixed with the directly with the cooling water. Next is the boiler feed pump. Boiler feed pump is a multi-stage pump provided for pumping feed water to economizer. The boiler feed pump is the biggest auxiliary equipment after the boiler and turbine. It consumes about 4 to 5% of the total electricity generation. Next, cooling tower. The cooling tower is a semi-enclosed device for evaporative cooling of water by contact with the air. The hot water coming out of from the condenser is fed to the tower on the top and allowed to trickle from the thin sheets or drops. The airflow from the bottom of the tower or perpendicular to the direction of water flow and then exhaust to the atmosphere after effective cooling. The cooling towers can be classified into natural draft cooling tower, forced draft cooling tower, induced draft cooling towers, and balanced draft cooling towers. In the first, natural draft cooling towers, natural air is used for to cool the steam. In the forced, mechanical arrangement is made to cool the vapor or steam forcefully. Next component is fan or draft system. In a boiler, it is essential to supply controlled amount of air to the furnace for effective combustion of fuel and to evacuate hot gases formed in the furnace through the various heat transfer area of the boiler. This can be done by using a chimney or mechanical device such as fans which act as a pump. This consists natural draft. When the required flow of air and flue gases through the boiler can be obtained by the stack, that is chimney, alone, the system is called natural draught. When the gas within the stack is hot, its specific weight will be less than the cool air outside. Therefore, the unit presence at the base of stack resulting from the weight of the column of hot gas within the stack will be less than the column of extreme cool air. The difference in the pressure will cause a flow of gas through the opening in base of stack. Also, the chimney is from form of nozzle, so the pressure at the top is very small and gases flow from the high pressure to low pressure at the top. Next type of draft system is a mechanized draft. There are three types of mechanized draft system. One is forced draft, induced draft and balanced draft. In the forced, fan controlled forced draft fan is installed at the inlet of the boiler. This fan forces the atmosphere air through the boiler furnace and pushes out the hot gases from the furnace through superheater, reheater, economizer and air heater to stacks. In the induced draft, fan called ID fan is provided at the outlet of boiler, that is just before the chimney. This fan sucks hot gases from the furnace through the superheater, economizer, reheater and discharges gas into the chimney. This results in the furnace pressure lower than the atmosphere and affects the flow of air from the outside to the furnace. And the last is the balanced draft. In this system, both forced draft and ID fans are provided. The forced draft fan is utilized to draw controlled quantity of air from the atmosphere and force the same into furnace. The ID fan sucks the product of combustion from the furnace and discharges into chimney. The point where draught is zero is called a balancing point. The remaining components and the further details of thermal power station we will continue in the upcoming lectures. For more updates in the course Power Plant Engineering, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.